For the past few weeks, I've been working on this mountain bike trail in my backyard. Its current name is Boar's Ass. Right now, the whole trail is blue, meaning it's pretty easy. Today, it will become a black diamond. Since I was only able to work on this project a couple times a week, I even had time to build this bike wash station. A special thanks to Seth's Bike Hacks for making all these projects possible. Now technically this won't be a North Shore drop, since you can buy the materials at your local hardware store. Having written many features similar to the ones at the North Shore, I can tell that their features are made from materials in the area, not materials that you would buy at your local hardware store. So technically this will be a free ride feature. I'll spare you the lumber details and leave a list in the description. Since this lumber will be making contact with the ground, or rain, I'm using pressure-treated lumber. The first step is to cut the slats for the top of the feature. I'm using 2x4s, but depending on the size of your feature, you may choose different size wood. As I finished cutting each 2x4, I made sure to rasp the ends to make them smooth. To get the slat spacing perfect, I'm cutting a small piece of 1/2-inch plywood. Then, I make a line at an angle on the end of a 2x6. This will serve as the beginning ramp. I'm using a circular saw for most of my cuts. In some cases I use a sawzall, but a circular saw is the way to go. Then I need to cut out a post. I'm using a 4x6. This will be the main support of the feature. My saw died mid-cut, but that won't be a problem if you have spare batteries charging. Unfortunately, all my other batteries are dead, so I had to improvise. The next step was to dig a 1.5 foot hole. The main support will go in this. I temporarily screwed in 2 2x4s to get the angle right. Then I used fast setting concrete to ensure it would stay there permanently. To get everything to fit, I had to do a small bit of landscaping. I then attach the 2x6s to the 4x6 with 4-inch lag bolts. Make sure to drill pilot holes before to make sure splitting does not occur. The next step was to cut another post. This would be for the upper part of the fixture. I had to make the cut at an angle so that I could lean it slightly against a rock for more stability. Unfortunately, my saw blade wasn't long enough to reach the bottom of the board, so I once again resorted to the axe. I then secured the second post with 4-inch lag bolts. This one didn't need to be cemented since it was just providing a little bit more support. Make sure that the lag bolts on either side are slightly apart from each other so that they don't collide. The next step was to attach the slats. I used 4-inch treated deck screws to do this. Watch how I use the 1/2-inch piece of plywood to space them evenly. Once I got into the slanted part of the 2x6, I used 3-inch treated deck screws to secure the slats. I then rasped the ends again to ensure that there were no sharp edges. It was then time to cut the slats for the next piece. I cut them at 20 inches, slightly longer than the previous. I also made sure to rasp the ends so that there were no sharp edges. It was then time to cut the third and last post. I used a sawzall instead of the circular saw because of the problem I had had previously. I then attached a piece of 4x4 post with 2 7-inch lag bolts. This would hold the 2x6s. I mounted the 2x6s with 2 4-inch lag bolts on either side. I then dug a new hole at the base for the post to rest. I then mounted another piece of 4x4, the same size as the other one, to the top of the third post. I mounted this with 2 7-inch lag bolts. I then secured this to the 2x6s with 2 4-inch lag bolts on either side. I then made this post sit permanently by adding quipcrete. For the final step, I secured the 20-inch slats with 4-inch deck screws. I made sure that they were spaced evenly with the 1/2-inch plywood. I then cut slants in the top with the Sawzall to ensure that the change was gradual. And once again, I rasped the ends of the 2x4s to ensure that no sharp edges were extruding. After that, there's only one thing left to do. Borzas is now officially a black diamond. This is definitely not the last feature we'll build on Borzas. So if you have any ideas, leave a comment and share your thoughts. And as for now, I'll see you out there on the trail.